Jeni Britton, the visionary behind Jeni's Splendid ice creams, has recently voiced her frustration, claiming that the New York Times has appropriated her homemade ice cream recipe without giving her due credit. This situation has sparked a lively debate, with many online commentators rallying in support of Britton, while the Times defends its position by asserting that their recipe is distinctly different from hers. On August 12th, the Times published a recipe on its widely read cooking website, which was later featured on the front page of its food section the following day. This recipe introduced cream cheese as a secret ingredient, in what writer Scott Leutch described as a carefully formulated recipe for a vanilla ice cream base, which could be adapted for various flavors. However, Britton argues that she was the first to highlight cream cheese as a key component in homemade ice cream back in 2011 in her award-winning book, Jeni's Splendid Ice Creams at Home. This book, which earned her a prestigious James Beard Award, includes a collection of 100 meticulously crafted recipes, showcasing her journey from a humble stall in North Market in 2002 to operating 96 scoot shops across 16 states today. In an Instagram video shared on August 13, Britton expressed her discontent, stating that the Times copied without credit her innovative technique, which she believes represents a significant advancement in ice cream making. The first new recipe in ice cream in decades, if not centuries. She explained that cream cheese serves as a stabilizer, enhancing the creaminess and scoopability of homemade ice cream. I created this recipe to replicate what we can achieve with expensive machines at Jeni's, but using a more affordable home kitchen appliance, she added. In response to Britton's claims, a spokesperson for the New York Times stated on August 15th that they hold a deep respect for original recipe development and acknowledge the integrity of Britton's work. However, they maintain that their recipe is fundamentally different in several aspects. According to Times spokesperson Jordan Cohen, this is an original recipe based on a custard foundation, featuring specific proportions, ingredients, and techniques. He noted that Leutch's recipe replaces the traditional egg yolks found in custard recipes with cream cheese. A side-by-side comparison of the base recipes from Britton and Leutch reveals both similarities and differences. While cream cheese is the most unconventional ingredient they share, the quantity used in Leutch's recipe, 4 ounces, significantly diverges from Britton's formulation. Britton mentioned in her Instagram post that when she experimented with 4 ounces, taste testers remarked that the resulting ice cream tasted like frosting. Interestingly, the Times has previously published 2 other ice cream recipes that credited Britton for either her original ideas or specifically for the inclusion of cream cheese. For instance, food reporter Melissa Clark acknowledged Britton's influence in a 2016 recipe for no-churn vanilla honey ice cream, stating, "One of the keys to a silky texture without the ice crystals that plague other no-churn ice cream recipes is using cream cheese, a trick picked up from Jeni Britton Bauer of Jeni's Splendid Ice Creams." Cohen clarified that unlike those earlier examples, the recipe developed by Leutch was not inspired by Britton's work. Online, the response has largely favoured Britton, with many commenters expressing their belief that she deserves recognition for her contribution of cream cheese to the ice cream making process. In her Instagram post, Britton remarked that the Times was merely kind of iterating, and it's not a big iteration at all, on my technique. Supporters have taken to social media to voice their agreement with Britton, with one follower praising her for standing up against what they perceived as unfair treatment. "Kudos to you for not standing for that BS," they commented, urging the Times to do better. Many others echoed this sentiment, accusing the newspaper and its writer of stealing Britton's recipe and calling for them to acknowledge her influence. Leutch, who has directed inquiries to the New York Times spokesperson, has disabled comments on his own Instagram post regarding the article, perhaps to avoid further backlash. This incident raises important questions about intellectual property and the ethics of recipe development in the culinary world. What do you think? Should the New York Times have credited Jeni Britton for her innovative use of cream cheese? Or do you believe their recipe stands on its own? Share your thoughts in the comments.